This is Kenny's Guitar Tech Tips with me, Kenny Barnwell, professional touring guitar tech. I've teched for some big name artists and toured around the world, which means I've met a ton of people, been in a variety of situations, and made my fair share of mistakes. And I've learned a thing or two about how to adapt to the inconsistencies of the live show. I want to share with you another option, method, or trick that you can try out and see if it works for you.
Today's tech tip I want to talk about is one of the most important roles of a guitar tech on the road, and that's tuning. I want to talk about different tuning techniques to make it easier in a live environment. In a live environment on stage, you have a lot of ambient noise and a lot of overtones floating around, and all tuners, analog, strobe, will pick up those overtones and sometimes drive you nuts if you can't figure out how to actually read the true tone of the tuner as you tune. We're going to start here with an acoustic guitar. Acoustic instruments are susceptible to more overtones and noise than electrical instruments because of the body and the vibrations of the wood picking it up on the pickups. I typically, with acoustic instruments, mainly just acoustic guitars and acoustic bass guitars, I always use my fingertips. And the reason why is what guitar pick material can introduce as overtones when you're tuning. When you have the different materials of guitar picks, like the plastics and the celluloids and the synthetics, they all add a different type of overtone when you're tuning. So what I do with acoustics is I always use my fingertips when I tune. For instance, when using your fingertips on the acoustic when you go to tune, it helps if you can mute the other strings by using part of your hand or some of your other fingers. I'll show you what I'm talking about. As you can tell, I'm using my other fingers to mute the other strings so they don't cause overtones when I'm trying to tune behind the PA. Mandolins are a little bit different. With mandolins, because they're a high-tensioned instrument, even though they're an acoustical instrument, I still use a guitar pick to tune a mandolin. The same goes with acoustic instruments, electric instruments, mandolins, and any of the varieties. You want optimal string tension. What that means is when you go to tune the instrument, and this may seem obvious, is you want to go flat the note that you're trying to achieve, and then come back up to it to tune. With instruments like the banjo here, I recommend using the fingertip technique. It cuts out a lot of overtones from the vibration of the drum head. Tuning has a lot to do with the different variables of your environment, like the weather. It has a lot to do with the instrument and the setup itself, like are the strings catching on the nut slots, is a burr on the saddle. So there's a lot of variances of tuning. Follow the steps of the maintenance and the preventative maintenance of the actual instrument and get the instrument playing and feeling to its optimal capabilities. That is one less variable that you're going to fight in tuning. That way, when you go to tune your instrument, if all the other variables are consistent, you know that tuning will be less of a hassle when you apply the different techniques of tuning in a live environment. I'm Kenny, and that's the Tech Tip of the Month.